One day you will realize you have been carrying weight that was never yours to hold. Not the weight of responsibilities, not the weight of duty or love, but something heavier. The weight of who you used to be. The weight of relationships that shifted years ago, but you kept pretending they were the same. The weight of abilities your body once had that are no longer returning. The weight of all the ways you thought your life would look by now. Old age does not break people because the body weakens. It breaks them because they are still gripping what has already slipped away. You see it in the eyes of those who reach their 70s and 80s, bitter, exhausted, feeling betrayed by life. They did not fail because they aged. They failed because they refused to let go along the way. They arrived at old age with their fists still clenched around everything they should have released decades ago. And when age finally forces those fists open, the pain is unbearable. Buddhism offers no comfort here. It offers truth. And the truth is this: if you do not learn to let go while you still have the clarity and energy to do so, old age will force you to release everything at once. And that forced letting go is what shatters the heart. This is not about becoming indifferent to life. This is about loving your life enough to stop suffocating it with your grip. This is about understanding that the tighter you hold, the more you lose. This is about learning to live with open hands, so that when old age comes, you are already practiced in the art of release. Today you will learn why letting go is not loss. It is preparation. It is mercy. It is the only way to enter old age with your heart still whole. 1. The weight of clinging. There is a reason Buddhist teachings return again and again to attachment, not because attachment is evil, but because attachment, when left unexamined, becomes the architecture of suffering. The Buddha taught that dukkha, often translated as suffering, arises from tanha, craving, clinging, the relentless grasping for what is already changing. You cling to pleasure, wanting it to last forever. You cling to youth, denying its natural passage. You cling to identity, to roles, to the version of yourself that once felt solid and true. But here is what the mind does not want to accept. Nothing you cling to was ever designed to stay. Your body was never meant to remain strong indefinitely. Muscles weaken, bones become fragile. Energy that once felt limitless now arrives in careful portions. This is not failure. This is biology expressing itself exactly as nature intended. You wake up one morning and your knee hurts for no reason. You reach for something on a high shelf and your shoulder reminds you of its limits. You try to remember a name that was on your tongue a moment ago, and it is gone. These are not punishments. They are signals. The body is speaking its truth. Your relationships were never meant to freeze in time. People grow, priorities shift. Some connections deepen while others quietly dissolve. Even the most devoted partnerships change shape as the years pass. What was once passionate becomes companionable. What was once easy requires effort. The friend you talk to every week now messages once a month. Your children visit, but their minds are elsewhere, absorbed in their own struggles. Your spouse sits across from you at dinner, and sometimes you wonder if you are living with a stranger. This is not betrayal. This is the organic movement of all living things. Your mind was never meant to stay sharp forever. Memory becomes selective. Processing slows. The quick wit you once relied on softens into something slower, sometimes gentler, sometimes frustrating. You tell the same story twice in one evening. You walk into a room and forget why you went there. You need more time to understand new technology, new information, new ways of doing things. This is not decline in worth. This is the natural cycle of a mind that has worked for decades. yet the mind resists. It says, "This should not be happening. I should still be who I was. They should still see me the way they used to. My body should still respond. My life should still feel the way it felt 10, 20, 30 years ago." And in that resistance, suffering multiplies. The original pain of change is one thing. That pain is clean, sharp but honest. The mental warfare against that change is another. That pain is messy, consuming, endless. The first is unavoidable. The second is optional. But most people never realize they have a choice. They believe that resisting change is loyalty, that clinging to the past is love, that refusing to accept loss is strength. It is not. It is exhaustion. A Zen story tells of two monks walking through a forest after heavy rain. They come to a river swollen with muddy water. A young woman stands at the bank, unable to cross. The older monk lifts her without a word, carries her across, and sets her down on the other side. The monks walk on in silence. Hours later, the younger monk, still agitated, finally speaks. "Master, we are forbidden to touch women. Why did you carry her?" The older monk looks at him calmly. "I set her down at the river. Are you still carrying her?" This is what clinging does. It forces you to carry what should have been released hours, years, decades ago. You carry the argument from last week, the betrayal from 10 years ago, the version of yourself from 30 years ago, the person who left, the respect you once had that quietly faded. And you wonder why your heart feels so heavy. You wonder why peace seems impossible. You wonder why old age feels like a burden instead of a passage. It is because you are still carrying everything you should have set down long before. Old age becomes unbearable not because it brings change, but because you arrive at it still carrying every person, every loss, every version of yourself you should have released along the way. 2. Letting go of who you used to be. The hardest thing to release is not what you had. It is who you were. For most of your life, identity was built on capability. You were the strong one, the reliable one, the one people turned to when things needed fixing. You were the parent who provided, the worker who delivered, the friend who showed up, the partner who held things together. Perhaps you were the smart one, the attractive one, the successful one. These identities were not lies. They were earned through decades of effort, sacrifice, and showing up. These roles were not lies. They were true. But they were also temporary. Buddhist philosophy speaks of anatta non-self, not that you do not exist, but that the self you cling to is constructed, shifting, never as solid as it feels. You are not one fixed thing. You are a river, always moving, always changing. What you call I is a collection of conditions, habits, memories, and roles that have never stopped transforming since the day you were born. When you cling to an old version of yourself, you create an impossible standard. You compare your 70-year-old body to your 40-year-old body and feel ashamed. You compare your current energy to your past stamina and call yourself diminished. You compare your present relationships to your memory of how they used to be and feel betrayed. Every day becomes a reminder of what you are no longer. Every mirror becomes evidence of loss. But the 40-year-old you is gone. That version of your life existed. It was real. It mattered. And it is over. Letting go of who you used to be does not dishonor that person. It honors what is here now. It allows you to meet this version of yourself with kindness instead of judgment. It allows you to stop performing an identity that no longer fits. Consider how much energy you spend trying to maintain an image. You push yourself beyond your body's capacity because you still think of yourself as strong. You accept invitations you do not want because you still think of yourself as social. You take on responsibilities you no longer have energy for because you still think of yourself as capable. You hide your struggles because you still think of yourself as independent. And all of this pretending exhausts you because you are trying to be someone who no longer exists while ignoring the person you have become. Old age asks a difficult question. Who are you when the roles fall away? When you are no longer the provider, who are you? When you are no longer the authority, who are you? When you are no longer physically strong, admired, needed in the ways you once were, who remains? When the title is gone, when the position is retired, when the children are grown and gone, when the body can no longer perform, who is left? Buddhism answers, what remains is awareness, presence, the capacity to simply be without needing to prove, achieve, or maintain an image. This is not emptiness. This is spaciousness. And spaciousness is where peace lives. The irony is that in letting go of who you used to be, you often discover something more essential. Stripped of roles and performances, what remains is the part of you that was always there, the awareness that watched you be strong when you were strong, the presence that witnessed you be capable when you were capable. That essence does not age, it does not weaken, it simply observes, accepts, and continues. This is not resignation, this is recognition. You are not what you do, you are not what you achieve, you are not the roles you perform or the image others hold of you. Those things were always temporary costumes worn by something deeper. Practice this now, not when old age forces it. Now, while your mind is still flexible, sit quietly. Notice the parts of your identity you defend most fiercely, the ways you introduce yourself, the qualities you need others to see in you, the achievements you return to when you feel uncertain. Notice how much energy it takes to maintain these images. Notice the anxiety that arises when you fear someone might see you differently. Now imagine those things softening, not disappearing, but loosening their grip on you. What if you did not need to be seen that way anymore? What if you could simply exist without constantly shoring up the walls of who you think you are? What if you could walk into a room and not worry about the impression you are making, the respect you are commanding, the image you are projecting? At first, this feels threatening. The ego panics. It says, if I am not this, then what am I? If I am not the strong one, the smart one, the accomplished one, then I am nothing. I will be invisible. I will be worthless. I will disappear. But if you stay with the discomfort, something else emerges. Relief, lightness, a quiet recognition that you have been working so hard to maintain an image that was always going to change anyway. You have been defending a fortress that was built on sand. Letting go of who you used to be is not giving up. It is finally allowing yourself to rest. It is permission to stop pretending. It is the freedom to age without apology, to slow down without shame, to admit when you are tired, confused, or simply done with performing. And in that release, you may discover that people still see you, still value you, not for what you do or who you used to be, but for the simple fact of your presence, your kindness, your willingness to listen, the wisdom that comes only from having lived. 3. Letting go of relationships that have changed. Love does not require clinging, but the mind confuses the two. You love someone, so you try to keep them exactly as they were when you first felt that love. You love a friendship, so you expect it to remain as close, as easy, as essential as it was in the beginning. You love your children, so you struggle when they grow into people whose lives no longer revolve around you. You love your partner, so you panic when the connection feels different from what it was decades ago. The Buddha taught that everything is impermanent, anicca. All conditioned things arise and pass away. This includes relationships, not because people stop caring, but because life moves. Circumstances shift. Needs evolve. What once nourished a connection may no longer be present. What once felt natural may now require effort that neither person has the energy to give. Old age magnifies this truth. Children build their own lives, absorbed in careers, raising their own families, managing their own struggles. They love you, but they do not need you the way they once did. Friendships thin as people move, retire, pass away, or simply run out of energy for maintaining connections that once felt effortless. Even long marriages face the uncomfortable reality that two people aging together are not the same two people who married decades ago. Bodies change, interests change, energy levels change. One person may embrace retirement while the other feels lost without work. One person may face illness while the other remains healthy. One person may want adventure while the other wants stillness. The things that once bonded, you shared goals, physical intimacy, social activity, may no longer exist in the same way. And if you cling to how things used to be, you make everyone suffer. You resent your children for living their own lives. You feel abandoned by friends who are simply facing their own struggles. You blame your partner for not being who they were 30 years ago, as if they committed some betrayal by aging alongside you. You hold people hostage to a version of themselves that no longer exists. This clinging does not preserve love. It suffocates it. Letting go in relationships does not mean you stop caring. It means you stop demanding that people remain frozen in the version of themselves that once made you feel secure. It means you allow relationships to breathe, to evolve, to change shape without collapsing into resentment when they do. A Buddhist teaching tells of a mother who loses her only child. Consumed by grief, she carries the child's body from house to house, begging for medicine to bring the child back to life. Finally, she comes to the Buddha. He listens with compassion and then speaks. "I will help you. But first, bring me a mustard seed from a house that has never known death." The mother searches. She goes door to door, village to village. Every house she enters has lost someone. A parent, a child, a spouse, a friend. She finds no house untouched by loss. She returns to the Buddha without the mustard seed. But she is no longer carrying her child's body. She has understood death is not an exception. Loss is not a punishment visited only upon her. Impermanence is the nature of all things. And in that understanding, her clinging begins to release. You do not need to lose people to let them go. You need to stop holding so tightly that love becomes pressure. Let your children live their own lives without guilt. Stop keeping score of how often they call, how long they visit, how much they remember about your life. They are building their own families now. This is not abandonment. This is what you raised them to do. Let your friendships evolve without resentment. Some friends will fade, not because they stopped caring, but because life pulled them in different directions. Others will remain, but the relationship may look different. Weekly coffee becomes monthly phone calls. Long visits become brief messages. This is not failure. This is adaptation. Let your partner age without comparing them to who they once were. Their body has changed, so has yours. Their interests have shifted, so have yours. They may move slower, forget more, need more rest, so do you. The passionate romance of your 30s may have softened into something quieter. This does not mean love has died. It means love has matured. When you release your grip, something unexpected often happens. People move closer, not farther away, because they are no longer suffocating under the weight of your expectations. Conversations become easier because you are not constantly measuring whether they are meeting your needs. Time together becomes richer because you are present with who they are now, not mourning who they used to be. This is not cold. This is clarity. And clarity creates space for real connection. Connection without desperation. Affection without demand. Love that does not collapse when the shape of the relationship changes. Love that says, I see you as you are. I accept that you are changing. I release my grip on who you were. And I meet you here, now, with an open heart. This kind of love is rare, because it requires letting go of the very thing most people believe love is: possession, constancy, unchanging devotion. But Buddhist wisdom teaches that true love is not clinging. True love is release. Release that trusts the connection will remain, even when it transforms. Release that does not panic when distance grows or closeness fades. Release that allows people to be fully themselves, even when that self no longer serves your need for security. 4. Letting go of physical abilities you've lost. The body does not lie, it does not pretend, it simply reports the truth of what it can and cannot do. For years, maybe decades, your body cooperated. It ran when you needed it to run. It lifted when you needed it to lift. It stayed awake, recovered quickly, tolerated stress, adapted to demands. You may have taken it for granted. You may have pushed it too hard. But it kept working. Now it speaks differently. It says, not today, not that way, not anymore. And the mind, still clinging to an image of strength, argues. It says, this should not be happening. I should still be able to walk that distance. I should still be able to lift that weight. I should still be able to work that many hours. My body is betraying me. Buddhist teachings do not ask you to deny the body's limitations. They ask you to stop arguing with them. The body is not betraying you. It is simply showing you what is true. And if you continue to insist that it should be different, you create a second layer of suffering on top of the physical discomfort. The pain of aging is one thing. The resentment about aging is another. Letting go of physical abilities you have lost does not mean you stop caring for your body. It means you stop demanding that your body perform as if time has not passed. It means you stop comparing your current capabilities to a memory that grows more idealized with each passing year. You walk more slowly now, so walk slowly. Notice what you see when you are not rushing. You tire more easily, so rest without shame. You cannot do what you once did, so do what you can with full presence instead of partial resentment. This shift in perspective is everything. When you let go of the body you used to have, you can finally care for the body you do have. You stretch gently instead of forcing. You move mindfully instead of recklessly. You honor limitations instead of fighting them. And something unexpected happens. The body, when treated with respect instead of frustration, often reveals capabilities you did not notice. Strength is not only physical. Balance is not only in the muscles. There is a different kind of vitality available when you stop comparing your current self to a memory. There is also grief in this. Letting go does not erase sadness. You are allowed to mourn what your body once could do. You are allowed to feel the loss of independence, agility, stamina. Buddhism does not ask you to suppress that grief. It asks you not to drown in it. Feel the sadness, then return to what is still here. Your breath, your awareness, your ability to be present with this moment, this body, this life as it actually is. 5. Letting go of regrets and what-ifs. Regret is the mind's attempt to rewrite a past that cannot be changed. It is the belief that if you replay the memory enough times, review the decision from every angle, punish yourself sufficiently, somehow the outcome will shift. It will not. The Buddha taught that clinging to the past is one of the most common forms of suffering. The past is gone. It exists now only as memory, and memory is not reality. Memory is selective, distorted, reshaped by emotion and time. Yet people arrive at old age carrying decades of regret, relationships they did not repair, risks they did not take, words they did not say, choices they made that led to pain they can no longer undo. And the mind says, if only I had chosen differently, if only I had known then what I know now, if only I could go back. But you cannot go back, and the energy you spend wishing you could is energy stolen from the present. Letting go of regret does not mean pretending mistakes did not happen. It means accepting that they did happen and that no amount of mental torment will change it. What happened, happened. What you did, you did. What you did not do, you did not do. Now what? Now you have a choice. You can carry the weight of every past failure into old age, letting it color every remaining year with bitterness. Or you can set it down. Buddhist practice offers a way. Sit with the regret. Do not push it away. Do not justify it. Simply observe it. Notice the thoughts. Notice the feelings. Notice the stories you tell yourself. Then ask, what am I clinging to here? Often, regret is clinging to an imagined version of your life that never existed. A fantasy of who you could have been if only you had made different choices. But that version of your life is fiction. What is real is this moment, this breath, this opportunity to choose differently now. You cannot undo the past, but you can refuse to let it poison what remains. Forgive yourself, not because you deserve it, but because you deserve to be free. Let the past be past. There is still life here. 6. Letting go of the need to control. Control is the great illusion. You have never had as much control as you believed. You made plans and they unfolded. You set goals and you reached them. The illusion of control felt real because life, for a time, cooperated. Old age removes that illusion. The body no longer obeys. The mind no longer processes at the speed you expect. Other people make decisions without consulting you. Plans fall apart. Circumstances shift. And the mind, trained for decades to believe that effort equals control, panics. Buddhist teaching is clear. Letting go of control does not mean becoming passive. It means recognizing what was always true. You control far less than you think. What you do control is your response. You cannot control how your body ages, but you can control how you treat it. You cannot control how others behave, but you can control whether you let their behavior determine your peace. You cannot control outcomes, but you can control the quality of your effort. There is an old Taoist story. A farmer's horse runs away. His neighbors say, "What bad luck?" The farmer replies, "Maybe." The next day, the horse returns with wild horses. The neighbors say, "What good luck?" The farmer replies, "Maybe." His son breaks his leg taming a horse. "What bad luck?" The farmer, "Maybe." Soldiers come conscripting young men for war. They pass over the farmer's son because of his broken leg. "What good luck?" The farmer, "Maybe." The farmer understands. Outcomes are beyond your knowing. What seems like disaster may become blessing. What seems like fortune may lead to suffering. Let go. Not into helplessness, into trust. Trust that you have done what you could. Trust that you will respond with the wisdom you have. Trust that life, even when it does not match your preferences, is still unfolding as it must. Old age is easier when you stop forcing outcomes, when you release the need to manage every detail, when you accept that some things will unfold in ways you cannot predict. 7. How letting go creates space for grace. When you release what you have been gripping, something unexpected happens. The space that opens is not emptiness, it is possibility. Grace is not something you achieve. It is something that arrives when there is finally room for it. Buddhist wisdom teaches that attachment creates contraction. Clinging tightens the heart, narrows perception, binds energy. When you let go, the heart softens, perception widens. Energy becomes available for presence. This is not abstract. This is lived experience. When you let go of who you used to be, you discover who you actually are. Not a list of achievements, not roles, but awareness itself, the part of you that has been watching all along, unchanged by decades. When you let go of relationships that have changed, you create space for connection that is real. People relax around you, conversations deepen, there is room for honesty. When you let go of physical abilities you have lost, you stop wasting energy on frustration. Small pleasures become profound. A short walk feels rich. Rest feels restorative. When you let go of regret, the past becomes history. Not a prison, just what happened, now complete. When you let go of control, life becomes lighter. Decisions become simpler. You do what you can, and then you rest. This is grace, not perfection, not the absence of difficulty, but the capacity to meet life as it is without demanding it be something else. Old age will still bring challenges. The body will still weaken. People will still disappoint you. Plans will still fall apart. But if you have practiced letting go, none of this will break you. Because you will no longer be holding so tightly that loss feels like devastation, you will have learned to live with open hands, receiving what comes, releasing what goes, present with what is here. This is not detachment in the cold sense. This is love mature enough to let things be as they are. This is strength soft enough to bend. This is wisdom deep enough to trust that life, even in its hardest moments, is unfolding as it must. You are standing at a threshold. The question is not whether you will face loss, change, limitation. You will. Everyone does. The question is whether you will meet those inevitabilities with a heart already practiced in release, or with a heart still clenched around what is already disappearing. Start now. Today. This moment. Notice what you are gripping, the identity you defend, the relationship you are trying to keep frozen, the body you keep comparing to memory, the past you replay endlessly, the future you believe you must control. And then, gently, loosen your grip. Not all at once. Not with force. Just slightly. Just enough to feel the possibility of openness. Buddhism does not promise that letting go will make life easier. It promises that letting go will make life livable. That suffering decreases when clinging decreases. That peace becomes possible when you stop demanding that impermanent things become permanent. Old age is not the enemy. Clinging is the enemy. Resistance is the enemy. The refusal to accept what is already true, that is what breaks the heart. Let go today. Not because you are giving up, but because you are finally ready to meet life as it actually is. And when you do, you may discover something you did not expect. That letting go is not loss. It is freedom.